Hello, lovely viewers. Welcome once again to our fun cooking channel. Yes, I've already done Kaklo on this channel. If you've not checked it, you should check because I did with the regular flour and then with the Tom Brown or the roasted corn flour. And I also gave you extra tips and I did it fortified with vegetables. Today, I'm giving a little twist. Especially this helps those of us with little ones. Yes, if you have growing kids or even for your elderly ones, this is perfect for you. So this is my fortified kaklo where I have cooked beans. I used to fortify it. So what I do is I just wash my beans and then I pre-cook it before I use it. So I just need my salt, my bell pepper, my garlic. I just added a little bit of bell pepper to help with the aroma and taste, onion, beans, and my overly ripe plantain. So when your plantain begins to look dark and overly soft, that is a perfect time to do your plantain fritters or your kaklo in there. So this is the earthenware bowl we use around here in Ghana to grind. If you don't have this, you can throw it in your blender and blend as well. So what the beautiful thing about this is you just need to make sure your beans is well cooked before you put it in here and you just grind everything together. Trust me, the taste is still good, the texture is still fine, and you won't have trace of the beans in there. So the little ones are not going to come picky in there. I don't know, but for my house, my little nephews, my nieces, I don't know, but it looks like my folks like beans a lot. So for them, even if they see beans, they won't have issue with it. But I know how kids can be very picky, and even we as adults, sometimes some of us we are a bit picky on our food. But there's one way to fortify your kaklo, where you used the cooked beans in there as well. And trust me, if you grind this properly and you bind everything together, when you fry, you're not going to even see the beans in there. And the beauty about fortifying your meals these days is that unlike those days, there's a lot of compromises in the market. So we're not getting our full nutrients from the right things we're eating. So it's good you fortify to get as much nutrients from the little you eat. So if you give just one or two to your little baby who is now eating like a 1 year plus kind of kid, you know that he's not just eating the plantain fritters, but it's a whole balanced diet because there's protein from the beans coming in there. There's vegetables coming in from the pepper, onion, green pepper. There's carbohydrate, which is coming from our plantain, and we're going to be frying with oil. So you're going to have in your fats and oils as well, which is a perfect balanced diet for you. So this fortified kaklo is one thing you need to be doing more often in your homes from today. And when you're done, always say, God, we thank you. And when you're done, always do make sure to come back here to give us thumbs up and do well to, share across your platforms as well. So I just mixed this up with my flour. Yes. And I always say when you're mixing, just do little bit at a time, little bit at a time. So I used the quantity of ingredients I used is down there. Do check the description button for it. Yeah, so I mixed it in with my flour in bits. Now, one thing you need to note is that when you are mixing your kaklo, yes, I learned this very early from my grandma, and she would always say, "Cho ekro ansana." As we something from a cho ekro neshe ansana. Nti echo na so atetowa na ehu de we some uswa na ezikaka aka ho. Na so echo na so fine. Not the cream cry. So what I'm virtually saying was that from my grandma, I learned that whenever you're frying your kaklo, especially if you're a beginner, just start with one first before you check, unless you're a pro. So just in case you're new, just mix just a little bit of flour in there, fry first to see. If it tears, then it means your flour is less. But if it doesn't tear, your flour is perfect. Because it's better you have less flour in there than to do too much flour, which will give you very hard kaklo. You won't enjoy it. You want to feel the plantain. It's plantain fritters, not flour fritters. So once I'm done, I just, scoop it into the frying pan. This is deep fry. So I had quite enough oil in there. Then I scoop them into the frying pan. I'm a local girl. I like to use my hand. But sometimes you can just use, so when you're doing commercial cooking or cooking for people, it's always good. You just use your then use your spoon to scoop it into the oil. So yeah, but if you're doing it for yourself at home, you could just use your hand like it's done around here to just scoop and drop it in there. But make sure it's deep fry so that it cooks it properly, and make sure that you don't do this over high heat. If you do it over high heat, you're going to end up having the outside looking brown, but then the inside won't be properly cooked. And you can see how beautiful it is. You don't even see trace of beans in there. If I don't tell you, you won't know. So just in case you have picky children at home, you are so safe to go. So once the outer part looks brown, you could just turn it. So once your oil is hot, just make sure you drop it to a medium temperature and then you fry with. So the beauty is by the time you're even done filling your pan, some would have started to brown up. So you can just start rotating from the start. So it's always good you do this in a chronological order. So just don't put one here, put one there, put one here, put one there. Or else when you're turning it, you're going to have a little bit of frustration. And don't overly load your pan, because if you overly load, it's not going to have its own space to expand and feel free. So it's going to get stuck together and you'd equally have problems with it. So this is some basic tips about making your fortified kaklo. This year, I always say make sure you eat healthier. And if you're going to eat healthier, you need to make sure that your food you're eating, the little you eat is as rich as possible. The little you eat, let it be as rich as possible and increase your lifespan. Yes, get all the energies you need. So I'm just going to fry this till it's done, and you just be turning them over to make sure that both parts become brown before you take them out of the fire. So yes, do make sure that you check my previous Kaklo recipe, which had the vegetables in, where I also used other flour options like the Tom Brown, the roasted corn flour, which also gives you great taste. You can equally check my tatale recipe, where it's the same plantain fritters, but this is done in frying pan and it's not deep fry, it's a shallow fry. And that one, I used the palm oil to fry as well. So yeah, feel free to use any cooking oil of your choice to make your kaklo, what you are very comfortable eating with. If it's coconut oil, if it's sunflower oil, if it's soya oil, if it's your vegetable oil or your palm oil, any oil you feel good with, olive oil, you can just use it. Just be mindful to do this right. And yes, you're going to have very beautiful looking kaklo and they are just tasty. Well, I love plantain dishes and this is one of my star dishes for me. You know that thing? Yes, so yeah. So do try this recipe. Do give us your comments, give us your suggestions, like this video. After watching, make sure you also share to educate someone and be a blessing in someone's kitchen and in someone's healthy living. And of course, do give the recipe a try. Make Abba proud and send me some pictures when you do. Yeah, it's always nice when you see pictures of how people do. Yeah, I think one of these days I have to just do a review video of the beautiful recipes my folks keep trying out around here. And this is a simple but fortified plantain fritter recipe. Yes, kaklo, kaklo. That's how we call it here in Ghana. So give this recipe a try till I see you in the next food video. Do live life to the fullest. Be joyous, be merry, and do make sure you try this kaklo recipe. Very soft, very fluffy, very tasty. Oh my God. I don't want to get you hungry. So yes, do try this perfect fortified beans kaklo, which is like your balanced diet in just one bite. Till I see you in the next food video, do live life to the fullest, be joyous, be merry, and let every food moment count. Lots of love from my team and I. Mwah.